The resurgence of Chrisean Rock's story quickly ignited a firestorm, dominating not only Black Twitter, but also every major media outlet, from TMZ headlines to CNN's entertainment section. The mother, once dismissed as unstable and unfit, had transformed overnight into a symbol of systemic failure and fierce resilience. News anchors debated the legitimacy of the original court ruling. Opinion writers questioned the extent to which reality TV editing influenced judicial outcomes. And fans mobilized swiftly. Within 24 hours of Chrisean's viral reveal, 3 major events unfolded. A protest outside the Los Angeles CPS headquarters gathered over 1,500 RSVPs on Facebook and X, formerly Twitter. A-list celebrities amplified her story, rallying support, with captions like, "Don't let them silence her," and "We believe mothers like Chrisean." And a documentary filmmaker announced an upcoming short series titled Custody Wars, The Chrisean Tapes, set to premiere on YouTube that week. Feeling the pressure, Carissa attempted to regain control, going live again, but the confident bravado was gone. Instead, she appeared frazzled and defensive, fumbling through half-hearted denials about audio edits and blaming bloggers for distorting the narrative. The backlash was swift and brutal. Commenters demanded truth, calling out her earlier. Chilling admission, "You literally said you'd bury her. Own it." As Carissa stumbled, Chrisean remained silent. No tweets, no stories, no responses, except for a single Instagram repost of a fan's supportive message. "You ain't crazy. You're a mother fighting a dirty system." Her quiet defiance only amplified her supporters' voices. Meanwhile, insiders from Zeus Network spoke out anonymously, revealing a behind-the-scenes strategy to depict Chrisean as unstable by cutting out any scenes showing her calm or nurturing side. One editor confessed to a gossip blog, "We were told to make her look bad. They manufactured fights and made her the villain. Now they're panicking because the truth's out." The entertainment industry seemed to be cracking, with producers from unrelated shows tweeting their recognition of a familiar pattern: women built up only to be torn down in public custody battles. Legal experts joined the conversation, with a family court attorney on a popular YouTube legal analysis channel explaining that this case might push courts to reconsider how much weight is given to edited social media content in custody decisions. One ruling had allegedly relied on manipulated footage, which violates due process. Advocates began proposing the so-called Chrisean Clause, a potential legal safeguard to prevent media-driven narratives from influencing child custody outcomes without rigorous psychological evaluation. The drama reached a surreal high point during a live discussion between Chrisean's sister and one of Blueface's cousins. Once bitterly divided, they now publicly agreed, "We might not always see eye to eye, but Baby Junior deserves better than this mess." Fans recognized the moment for what it was, more than just entertainment. It was a movement. And with the emergency hearing looming in just 8 days, anticipation was palpable, everyone wondering what cards Chrisean still held. Then, just when the saga seemed unstoppable, an anonymous email landed in inboxes of major gossip outlets. Subject line: "They all knew." The sender claimed to be a former assistant who had worked on both the custody investigation and the reality show's production. Attached were explosive files bound to shock the internet. The first was a distorted voice recording of a covert conversation between a Zeus Network exec and a CPS caseworker, speaking in coded language but unmistakably plotting. One voice said, "We need to wrap that up on your end. The next arc's scheduled. She can't have the baby on camera, it ruins the pitch." The CPS worker replied, "Done. She's too emotional on live anyway. Not the kind of mother we want headlines about." Fans were stunned. Were they admitting the custody decision was being choreographed to fit a reality TV storyline? The second file was a budget spreadsheet, which on the surface looked routine until zoomed in. There, chilling line items appeared. Post-custody spin phase, final edits, contract reshuffle, and press manipulation. Next to it, a payment record to a PR firm known for managing celebrity scandals. Social media erupted. This was no longer just a personal tragedy, but a scripted spectacle, a mother's pain commodified for ratings, a grotesque exploitation. The final attachment was an email thread revealing Blueface's team had advance notice of CPS's custody. Decision, dated 2 days before the hearing. One message read, "Once we get confirmation on Junior, set up the studio meeting. She's not allowed in unless it's supervised." The implications were devastating. Collusion, manipulation, betrayal. As the public absorbed these bombshells, CPS issued an emergency statement acknowledging the leaks were under investigation, but insisted, "No official ruling has been changed." Baby Junior remained in protected custody pending further review. Translation: they were buying time but had been exposed. Minutes after CPS's statement, Chrisean's team dropped a teaser, a blurry, clandestine video capturing a backroom meeting between CPS staff and a network producer. In the audio, one voice said plainly, "This isn't about safety." The message was clear. This was about control, narrative, and a story to be sold. The fight was far from over, and the world was watching. Audio clips from the leak spread like wildfire across social media, Twitter threads, TikTok reels, reaction videos, some YouTube uploads skyrocketing to over 2 million views within 24 hours. The collective shock? This was far bigger than anyone anticipated. As supporters shared and called for justice, those Chrisean had exposed started to scramble. Suddenly, her live stream vanished without a trace. No archive, no backup, simply gone. Soon after, news broke that Chrisean's legal team was bombarded overnight with a flurry of legal threats. An insider confided to a gossip outlet that her attorney received 5 urgent emails in one night, 2 cease and desist orders, a demand to retract the audio, and a formal warning that CPS planned to review all public statements related to ongoing cases. The message was clear. Panic had set in. Simply put, they were shaken, but the legal line remained blurry. A former CPS investigator anonymously pointed out that because the recordings happened in a one-party consent state and Chrisean was part of the conversations, what she shared wasn't necessarily illegal, just deeply embarrassing. Still, that didn't stop Carissa from retaliating the very next morning, ditching the smirks and flashy accessories for a serious tone as she sat in a living room surrounded by stacks of paperwork and a snoring pit bull. Without hesitation, she fired back, making it clear she wasn't about to portray Chrisean as some flawless victim. She selectively leaked snippets of conversations, cutting clips to paint herself as the innocent party. Then, holding up a blurred but unmistakably legal document, she declared, "This is what they don't want you to see. A court order filed just last week. She's already lost her appeal. CPS isn't handing the child back. Not now, not ever." Fans immediately raised red flags. Why was she in possession of the court documents? If the appeal was denied, why wasn't this information public? The details didn't add up. Even more suspiciously, she never revealed the document's front page, showed no court seal, nor mentioned a date. Instead, she launched into a tirade about Instagram lawyers, fake supporters, and claimed she's the one actually raising baby Junior now. As Carissa was passionately delivering her live stream, a fresh leak suddenly surfaced on Reddit. A screenshot purportedly from a private CPS official's chat, referencing Chrisean's broadcast. One chilling line read, "We need to flag this one," hinting that if verified, it could spark a formal procedural audit. What began as a custody dispute was quickly morphing into a full-scale investigation into the case's handling. The real bombshell dropped later that night when a prominent entertainment lawyer tweeted, only to delete it shortly after, that if the leaked audio was genuine, Chrisean might have grounds to reopen the case and file a civil lawsuit. This shifted the stakes from just regaining custody of baby Junior to holding those involved accountable. Meanwhile, Blueface vanished into silence. No posts, no tweets, no arrogant clips, leading many to speculate his legal team advised him to lay low, or perhaps he feared more incriminating recordings might emerge, especially after fans dug up footage of him arguing with Chrisean in the background of one of her older lives. In that clip, he coldly said, "They can take him for all I care. Maybe then you'll finally calm down." Now, those words felt like a grim prophecy, as Chrisean hinted at releasing the rest of that call. Just before midnight, Chrisean posted a stark black and white text update. "I was quiet when they took my son. Now they want to threaten me for telling the truth. Okay." She tagged it Monday Part 2, and in just 4 hours, it amassed over 800,000 likes. The caption was teasing. Screenshots, real names, with rumors swirling about forthcoming drops containing text messages between her and CPS reps, producer chats about narrative manipulation, and possibly leaked footage cut from her reality show. Behind the scenes, her team confirmed she was now working with a high-profile civil rights attorney known for defending public figures against wrongful state intervention. The tide was rapidly turning. What started as a heartbreaking custody loss was evolving into a scandal poised to shake reality TV, challenge CPS's credibility, and raise serious questions about public trust in child welfare processes. All eyes were locked on Monday. When Monday morning arrived, Chrisean didn't just post, she detonated. At exactly 9 a.m., she released a 5-minute screen-recorded video titled, "They Wanted Names." In it, she scrolled through a series of messages and voice notes, revealing more than anyone expected. The first screenshot showed a friendly chat between Chrisean and a CPS caseworker named Ronny Doe, who reassured her, "You're doing great, Mama. Don't stress about the hearing. They just want to see stability." Another message revealed that despite Blueface's mother reporting concerns, CPS didn't flag the call. Suddenly, CPS appeared to have once been on Chrisean's side. The second slide unveiled a DM exchange with a junior producer from her reality show, who confessed, "They cut your prayer scene. The night feed said it didn't fit the narrative." Chrisean's response? "What narrative? That I'm crazy?" The producer replied bluntly, "I don't decide. They wanted it messy." This screenshot alone racked up over 10 million views in less than 4 hours. Then came the third slide, a Cash App receipt from an individual fans quickly identified as a longtime friend of Blueface, someone previously neutral during the custody battle. The note simply read, "For the edited version." Fans connected this to a leaked video where Chrisean appeared upset while holding baby Junior. The implication? That video was selectively edited to portray her as unstable and was deliberately circulated ahead of the custody ruling. In other words, money was spent to build a false narrative against her. If true, this could land someone behind bars. Finally, the last slide featured a chilling voice note. The unmistakable voice of Carlessa said, "If she thinks she's keeping that, baby, she's dumber than I thought. I've already made the calls. We'll bury her in paperwork." Chrisean offered no commentary, just let the voice note speak for itself with the caption, "Bury me. Bet." By midday, Chrisean's explosive revelations were trending worldwide. Celebrities flooded her comments with messages of support. Keke Palmer sent love with the reminder that truth always finds light, while Megan Thee Stallion tweeted simply, "We see you, sis. Keep shining." But this was more than emotional support. It quickly became a legal battle. Multiple analysts confirmed that 2 civil rights organizations had contacted Chrisean, offering legal representation. One attorney told a news outlet Chrisean might have a viable civil case against CPS, the production company, and possibly individuals involved in manipulating evidence. Adding to the drama, the production company behind her reality show released a statement acknowledging the accusations and confirming an internal review of production choices. They pledged full cooperation with any legal probes, but fans were skeptical. Many felt the apology came too late and only mattered if Chrisean's proof held up. They believed the show had edited her motherhood into a villainous storyline. While media outlets scrambled to cover the fallout, Blueface finally went live after days of silence. Instead of addressing the leaks, he launched into a defensive rant, insisting, "You can drop 1,000,000 texts, but that don't make you a good mom. You weren't ready. CPS saw that, the court saw that, everybody saw that." But viewers noticed his tone was jittery, unfocused, and near the end of the stream, he muttered ominously, "You better be careful with them tapes, though." That line ignited speculation. Why was he so afraid of the recordings? Did Chrisean have tapes involving him too? What was he hiding? By the day's end, rumors spread that Chrisean possessed even more evidence, including unheard audio of conversations with Blueface. The story took a new turn when a petition to reopen her custody hearings surpassed 500,000